We'll take it, man.
Thanks for joining media. This afternoon, you'll hear from head coach Derek Fisher, Riquna Williams, Nneka Ogwumike, and Chelsea Gray. We'll start with Doug Feinberg with the Associated Press.
Hey, Coach. Nice win. Was this sort of the perfect scenario in a sense that you had a comfortable win, you got to rest everyone a lot, and your team played pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall we've tried to, you know, learn how to put a 4-quarter game together, and not that you're going to play 40 perfect minutes, but I think we're starting to understand what it takes to possession by possession, work a game, and during this kind of season, to your point, as many times as we have an opportunity to get a win without overextending, minutes of, in particular, our veteran players and players with a lot of experience and wear and tear over the years. That's really important to try and take advantage of. So we're fortunate to get this win today in this fashion.
Adam Grossbart, LA Daily News.
Derek, the first 6 games, the team shot 34% from 3-point range, and now it's shot over 50% from 3 in 3 of the last 4. Like, what changes led to that more efficient shooting from deep?
I mean, I think first and foremost, for the players themselves, like they've, gotten into better, basketball conditioning and game shape. And so, they deserve the credit first and foremost because it wasn't easy, coming into this situation to really be ready to perform at the highest level. I think secondly, or complementary of that, we tried to, talk about things and work through some things even without practice in terms of our overall spacing and our commitment to making the extra pass and making our teammates better. I think that's something that has helped to create better shot opportunities for us. And that's, I think, playing a little bit of into why the percentages are going up.
Tukni New in LA Times.
Coach, you made it through this 6-game stretch, 5-1. What kind of development have you seen during your team during this period to get you to this point where it seems like everything really just is kind of falling into place and you're really clicking?
No, I think, the team themselves and the players, getting to know one another. Again, we, Brittany, Simone, Taya Cooper, Christine, Marie Gulich, Rashonda Gray, all new players. And, learning each other personally, learning each other's strengths and weaknesses professionally. All of that factors into a team, finding its way to, like, how can we get the best out of each other so that we can be the best team we're capable of being. And so, I think they're figuring a lot of those things out amongst themselves, and they're taking responsibility and ownership for what takes place out on the court. And that's really what you need. As coaches, we try and help as much as possible. We try to provide, as much of the most efficient information, but they have to go out there and play. And I think they're figuring a lot of things out themselves, and that's great to see.
Kevin Dana, Twitter Sports.
Coach, congrats on the win. They were talking on the broadcast today just how clean the shot looks coming off Riquna Williams' wrist, and just on a WNBA ball with the multicolored panels, you could really see how tight the rotation is every time. Just wondering, as someone who was a really good shooter in your day as a professional basketball player, what's it like for you watching Riquna Williams shoot?
Yeah, no, it feels the same way, honestly. You feel like almost every time she shoots it, it has a chance to go in. I think the great shooters, there's the least amount of motion possible as they're going up and staying through that shot. And Riquna's shot is really tight and efficient, and I think that allows her to be, really, really good shooter. And as we commit ourselves to moving the basketball more, sharing the ball more, making the extra pass to our teammate, the type of looks that she's getting that's going to allow her to shoot the ball even better. And so I agree with you. It's a beautiful shot to watch, but she doesn't waste motion. And I think that's one of the keys to great shooting.
Sabrina Merchant, SB Nation.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the win. Another really good game for Christine today. What have you been seeing her in her, like between games? Like, how did you know that she'd be ready for this moment for her?
Yeah, I mean, Christine is 24/7 workaholic. She's constantly in the gym trying to figure out how to come back late at night to get work in. Calling her teammates to ask if they can work out together, if they can watch film. Calling coaches to ask if, she can watch film. A couple games she didn't play, she's calling and asking what can she do to get better, how can she help the team. She wants to be out there. And so, for Christine, because of the level of energy and effort and intensity that she competes with, a lot of times good things are going to happen just because of that. And then when you're out there on the floor with the great players that we have here, if you're in the right places and you're doing the right things, there are going to be some great opportunities out there for you. So we're happy for her. You can see her teammates really celebrating her success, and it's not by accident. She puts a lot of work in, and we were fortunate to be able to pick her up, late kind of in this unusual offseason.
Last question for Coach Amanda Skurlock, LA Sentinel.
Hey, Coach. Can you talk to me about Brittany Sykes' efficiency rating? I noticed that she's at plus 17, which is the same amount as Nneka's. Could you just kind of explain your reasoning why you gave her that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Brittany's activity level it's been really good for us, in particular in that first group. When she's paired next to Nneka, Candace, Chelsea, and Sid, her athleticism, speed, her length, it does a lot of really good things for us. She had 5 steals today, which you take 5 possessions away from your opponent, that gives you a chance to have a great plus minus, because that means there were 5 times they didn't score at all. And so, she takes her defensive responsibilities very seriously. She's sometimes too hard on herself. And so, the commitment that she shows on that end, I think it's infectious to the rest of our team. And when she's playing the basketball as hard as she does defensively, the way she gets after it, it lifts everybody else's energy up. And so I think her efficiency comes from disrupting the opponent. And then because of how talented we are, and if we move the basketball offensively, oftentimes we're going to have a chance to score efficiently.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats. Questions for Chelsea Gray. We'll start with Dennis Freeman.
How you doing, Chelsea? Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
My question is, as the season progresses, how difficult will it be for you guys as players to continue to talk about social justice issues as well as focus on basketball?
It won't stop. We'll be using our platform as much as possible, so it won't stop all season, playoffs, regardless. So the fans, anybody that's watching, listening, seeing, will keep hearing what we want to get done outside of the court.
Doug Feinberg, Associated Press.
Hey, Chelsea. I gotta think, as a point guard, having so many options on offense right now must be like your dream as a guard, to know everyone's shooting well and playing well, it seems.
Sometimes I'm getting turnovers because of that. I mean, I got to be smart with the ball, but it's kind of like pick your poison, right? You're either going to take away the roll with Nneka or Candace rolling down, or you're going to take away the shot with Sid or Bay coming up to the wing. So it's kind of like pick your poison. So it's amazing to be able to play with. It makes my job a lot easier as a point guard. So I enjoy playing with these group of women. It's exciting every time we touch the floor, not just offensively, but defensively, the different matchups we can do, switching, not switching, just all depends. So just being able to be versatile on both sides of the floor, it's a great thing.
John W. Davis, Winsider.
Hey, Chelsea, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, so as I watched Riquna last year and as I watch her this year, you know, I know y'all call her Bay or Bebe, but I've been calling her the microwave. That's my nickname for her, the way she's able to heat up off that bench and just really make those threes. Do you think that's an appropriate nickname? And if so, why?
I don't know. She just Bay to us, and we know what she's capable of every time she steps on the floor. Um, she's a headache for the opposite team. I know when playing against her in practice, she's a headache. So just having her on our side, you know, it's amazing. And she's capable on both ends of the floor. You know, it's going to show up in the stat sheet offensively. They're knocking down threes and things like that. But she poses a threat defensively. Her on-ball defense, you know, she's quick. So I just enjoy playing with her on both sides of the ball.
Pavi, H&B Media.
Hey, Chelsea. Great game today. You guys have had a 4-game win streak. You're basically at the halfway point of this season. I guess, can I ask you to assess the job that you all have done, you know, like what you still want to get better at and, you know, what you've been pleased with?
I think in the beginning, like we were winning one, losing one, winning one, losing one. And now you're starting to see a consistent effort on both sides of the ball. We still have to figure out and really trust our rebounding. Guards, I mean, I don't think I had a single rebound today. So just being able to be consistent with that and coming in, because our post players are pushing them underneath the basket sometimes, and we can come up with those loose balls. So rebounding for sure. And then offensively, just trusting it and moving the ball and not trying to get stagnant on certain plays. But you see the level that we started with and then where we are now. You know, we can just go, we're going to keep trucking, keep going up a level. And that's our goal. The rest of these regular season games to be ready for the playoffs.
Sabrina Merchant, SB Nation.
Hey, Chelsea, congrats on the win. You kind of touched on this earlier.
You cut out, Sabrina. Are you there? It must be an audio issue.
Seems like you guys are just.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Hey, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. You kind of touched on this earlier, how defensively you guys are so versatile, and it seems like you guys have really made a lot of progress on that end from the start of the season. What do you attribute that to?
Just constant communication. You know, we're watching film, trying to get better in that category. And our assistant LT is on us all the time about, you know, being able to play on both sides of the ball. And defensively, like when the ball is on one side, having that other side just coming in, clogging up the paint, but also able to close out and then finish it off with a box out and a rebound. But just the constant communication and trying to get better defensively by watching film, because we don't have time to just be on the court for a few hours to try to preserve our body with this type of season. So just getting better with film and just the communication throughout a game. If we see something, just being able to communicate that through, so when we get on the floor, it doesn't happen again. We limit those times where we have the same mistake happen.
Last question for Chelsea. Adam Grossbart, LA Daily News.
Chelsea, just what's the mood in the locker room after getting, you know, a very complete win today and going into an off day tomorrow after such a tough stretch of games?
I mean, we're happy, we're live, we're excited to get some off days, not playing. But, you know, we're excited to be able to, you know, put the string of games together and to be able to do that, you know, in a short amount of time. But also every game you're seeing progress in different areas, and we're communicating that in our locker room, in our meetings, in our film session, individually, you know, watching film. So it's exciting to know, you know, we're making strides, but we can't stop. We have to continue to keep elevating on both sides of the ball.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you.
All right, questions for Nneka. We will start with David Yapkowitz, Next Hoops.
Hey, Nneka. You guys have looked pretty good offensively these past couple games, but, on the defensive end, you've been really impressive as well. I think, today you forced something like 22 turnovers. Last game, it was around like 27. What have you seen from this group on that end of the floor, these past couple games?
I've seen like commitment. I've seen trust. And that's really the foundation of our defense, is to trust that there's people behind you, to trust yourself, guarding one-on-one, and committing to that foundation that Fish has laid out for us. And it's coming together quite nicely. I feel as though we still have a long way to go for us to be able to string things together, but we're well on our way.
Kevin Dana, Twitter Sports.
Hey, Nneka, congrats on the win. You've had some really good shooting lines this year, and today was no exception, 8 for 9. What was working so well for you today, not just with respect to your shot, but your overall game?
I think that as we kind of try to develop this team chemistry, I've been finding my way to be, I guess, more productive yet more assertive in the offense. I feel as though this year we have a unique team in that it can be anyone's night. And I guess in my own kind of like progress and trying to find my way through this system, I didn't want to force it. And so today I felt as though I really wasn't forcing it. I was just letting the game come to me. And I can see that that's happening not just for me, but for a lot of my teammates as well.
Doug Feinberg, Associated Press.
Hey, Nneka.
Hey, Doug.
Just to piggyback off that, does that make you guys more dangerous? That I think Coach used the word democratic offense the other day, that it's not, okay, if teams focus on Candace or you guys are in trouble. I mean, Riquna's been playing great, and Brittany's been playing great, and any night someone could step up, so it's not like focus on two people and the Sparks are in trouble anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a bit of our identity with the orchestration of the team that we have now. We have a very strong bench. And, starters aside, me and Candace and even Chelsea as focal points aside, you kind of you have to guard everybody when they're out there, and then everybody can go out there and also kind of get stops. And so when we're able to string that together and focus on us, it really looks great out there, and it feels great too.
Raymond Lyons made for the W.
Hey, Nneka, good win today.
Thank you.
You guys talk about all the time about the new pieces and, how different of a team it is this year. It seems like it kind of moving past that getting to know you phase and you're ready to rock. Just talk about, especially as one of the veterans, what the gelling process was like and, some frustrations or some things you saw early that you wanted to capitalize on.
I think that early on, to be honest, like this season is not like any other season. And so people can react or can respond or progress or not in many different ways given the circumstances. We have a group in which everybody's buying in. Everybody understands that we are all here with a sacrifice or two on our hands. And we just want to come here for a purpose and to be together. And that's kind of been the procedure by which we understand our progress, and it's still, each day is still a new day, and we don't have time to dwell too much on things that have happened, but we also don't look too far ahead, as crazy as that sounds with such a short season. But I think we're doing an amazing job of being in the moment, focusing on what's at hand and taking things as they come and being prepared for everything.
Chris Camello, Nightfall Media.
Hey, Nneka, great game. Talk about where you're at right now, just physically, mentally. You seem like the last couple of games, the energy, the bounce, everything just seems to be better. Just talk about where you're at right now.
Being here is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do professionally. Getting here was hard, maybe harder. And I mean like the process of being a part of it and really trying to figure out what this season would look like. And then getting here, I really feel as though everyone just kind of has this attitude of like, let's be healthy, let's stay safe, and let's do our jobs. Playing every other day is by no means ideal, but it is what it is. Playing 10 o'clock games is also not ideal, but it is what it is. I feel as though there's several corners of the world right now where people are saying it is what it is. Let's do our best and let's be together and really try to make this work in a way that everyone can benefit from. And so, you have the competitive nature of the season and you're playing against teams, but even still, we're all in one place. We see each other every day. I feel as though there's kind of a collective understanding and respect and compassion that has been developed by being in this type of season, this very historical season, that is kind of, for me, is what's helping me get through this.
Last question, Adam Grossbart, LA Daily News.
Hey, Nneka, just kind of touching on that, like, do you guys have any plans as a team for what you're going to do with this downtime before your next game?
We have a day off tomorrow, and that day off hopefully means that we don't see each other at all.
Thank you so much, Nneka.
Thanks, Eli.
Questions for Riquna. We'll start with Kevin Dana, Twitter Sports.
Hey, Riquna, congrats on the win. We were talking with Coach Fisher, and he was just telling us like how really clean your shot is. And with a WNBA ball with the multicolored panels, you could see just how good the rotation is. Is this the best your shot has felt? And to add on to that, what has led to you shooting? You've always been a good shooter, but 51% this year from three. What has led to that this season?
It's actually been fun. I think the biggest thing for me was getting back to having fun. Having my incident last year, hanging over my head, it definitely took a toll after a while. But this year I came in free, nothing hanging over me, and able to give my all to the team.
John W. Davis, Winsider.
Hey, Riquna, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. So I know you go by Bay and Bebe and all that, but I've been trying to come up with this. I'm trying to get people on this train. I got this new nickname for you because when I see you come off the bench, you heat up so quick. You remind me of one of my players on the Pistons, Vinnie Johnson. So I've been trying to push this nickname, the microwave, for you. First of all, how you feel about that? And then how do you feel about the last 4 or 5 games being able to just come in and basically almost score a point a minute? You just get those shots and you just shoot them.
First thing first, the microwave, it goes back to the University of Miami. The first time I ever heard about it was through Coach Katie Myers, my head coach down at University of Miami. First, coming off the bench, it's a feeling and the joy of it, and talking with Coach Fisher, Coach LT, and my teammates, fully understanding that I'm probably best when I'm coming off the bench and I'm able to give more, because I don't have to think as much as I would in the first group.
Tabby, H&B Media.
Hey, Riquna, great game today. When I asked Chelsea, to assess the season that you guys have had and assess maybe some rooms for improvement for you all, she said guard rebounding would be one thing. I guess, is that something that you've noticed as well?
Us as a whole, because if we have the bigs boxing out, then the smaller guards should be able to go in there and pick it up and keep going, and that'll help with fast break points and get us going down here even more.
Time for 2 more today. David Yapkowitz, Next Hoops.
Hey, Riquna. I remember last season, Coach Fisher put you into the starting lineup when the starters needed a little bit of a jolt there, to avoid some slow starts. This year, you started out as a starter. Now you're coming off the bench. Sometimes we've seen players struggle at times to adjust to changing roles, starting, coming off the bench. But just how have you been able to maintain, a consistent level of production?
Just counting my blessings. For me, the biggest thing is to still be able to be a part of the Sparks. Never take that for granted, and I've been definitely wearing that on my sleeve. That I'm so thankful for everybody involved with the Sparks organization.
Last question for today, Sabrina Merchant, SB Nation.
Hey, Riquna. First things first, is that a Robert Ory jersey?
Definitely is.
No Derek Fisher ones in the collection?
I'm going to try to surprise him pretty soon, so I'm working on it.
And just, Holly Rowe was talking on the broadcast how you chased rabbits around over the off season to get your speed back. Can you expand on that story a little bit?
Yeah, not this past off season. It was the year I got traded to LA when I ruptured my Achilles. I did my first couple of months rehab at the University of Miami, went back, got my degree, and then I was able to go back home and enjoy home. So every Saturday I started going in the fields with my family and chasing rabbits and just eating sugar cane, really, because you could break it right off the field and eat it.
Thank you so much, Riquna.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Take care.